Somebody had asked me probably over a month ago now if I would do a comparison video on these three fans. They are Patton high velocity fans, 14 inch, an 18 inch, and a 20 inch. I think they wanted me to talk about differences between the motors, etc. There's really only so much I can talk about there. They're all Macmillan motors. Um, the only details I can really add about these have to do with the dates of manufacture. So the fan in the middle there, the 14 inch, and the one on the left, the 20 inch, those were made in the year 2001 for the 14 and the year 2000 for the 20 inch, which would have been after Patton Electric Company was bought out by the Holmes Group. I believe that happened in 1999, but there was still a few years there where uh, they were still manufacturing Patton fans as you would know them to be before sweeping changes went through and they switched everything over to China. So these are Patton fans made in the Patton way with the same components, everything. I don't know if it was the same factory or not. I really couldn't find that information. There's no Patton Electric Company Wikipedia page. The only information I found was actually on the rival company Wikipedia page. I would recommend reading that, or it was really kind of hard to find any reliable information about how that all went down. But I can say that the two fans on the left side were made post Holmes buyout, and the fan on the right was made in 95. So it was made by Patton while Patton was still Patton as you would know them to be. So we'll start with the newest one, the 14 inch, made February. Actually, this one was made January 2001. Paid $10 for this fan. The only bad thing was I had to drive an hour there and back to go pick it up, but I mean, what the hell, $10. And it didn't need anything. All it really needed was cleaned up and oiled. That's all it really needed. So this is model, get this cord out of the way. U2-1487 draws 1.5 amps. It's got Macmillan motor. This is the only motor out of the three that doesn't have oil ports, but it's basically made the same way. Slightly smaller motor than the other two fans, and this is the only one that has a switch box containing the wires. As you can see, the switch there, the wires are just kind of laid out. And same thing with that one. This one actually has an enclosure. So yeah, safety first, I guess. This is also the only one that has guard clips that are more commonly used today. The other two fans have the old prongs. The old pull and hook method, where you gotta bend the hell out of your guards to get them on there, and then they still rattle afterwards. Oh, not if you put them on right. Yeah, just they still rattle, and it's still a pain in the ass. But in a way, that's what makes them special. It's one other thing. The older Patton fans, I mean, really, I think that those are pretty common on other brands too. It's not just these. Like, and they still make stuff like that today. I think that like the 30-inch Dayton pedestal fans still use that method, the prongs. Yeah, I mean most of like the bigger fans, like the 30-inch blade fans, 24-inch plus still use those. But when you get down to the 20-inch and below, most of them are going to have these clamps. Anywho, talking too much here. Let's run the damn fans, man. Okay, so this is the only one of these that really has a significant startup sound. The other two are just they just get up and go right away. They don't really have much of a startup sound. They're just lean and mean machines. This one is too, but it actually does have a startup sound. So we'll start on the low, and then I'll go to medium, high, and do spin down. Pretty mellow low speed on this one. This is the only one that has a mellow low speed. The other two are just insane. The other two fans are pretty scary. This one still has that hum. I think that's just the motor whistling. That's just the air moving through the motor. Just has a whistle to it. Here's medium. Picks up pretty good on the medium speed. Now it's moving a pretty good amount of air. Here's the high. And spin down. I really like the way that chrome looks, that chrome basket. It's pretty sharp. I like the chrome with the chrome blades. The blue blades are cool too, but I don't know. I just like the way this fan looks. Runs really good too. It's got a mellow low speed if you don't want to, blow all the pictures off the walls and stuff like that, and you just want to mellow out for a little while with your Patton fan. You can turn it on low and go put it in the corner and let it do its thing. The other two aren't going to let you do that. They're not going to play nice with you at all. I got to unplug this one and get it out of the way. Okay. Jeez. Okay. So moving on. 20-inch. It's got a nice Beefcake Macmillan motor on it. The power draw on this one is 2.6 amps according to the motor sticker, and this one was made in February of the year 2000. So this is model U2-20CW, and it says 2.7 amps. Wonder why this says 2.7 amps. Wonder why they wouldn't just put down what the motor says. I'm pretty sure probably all those motors probably said 2.6, unless they test them all separately and actually print out the individual motor ratings. I don't know. I guess I don't know how that works. They test the motor and then a sticker pops out, but it said 2.6. Maybe Patton just uses one motor as an example and then applies that to all their labels, or maybe that they just move it up 1/10 of an amp just to give them some coverage in case anybody actually does test the motor. I don't know. I have no idea about their procedures. So this one was also made after the buyout, but as you can see, it's a Patton industrial heavy duty air circulator. And so this one has balance issues, has blade balance issues that were pretty severe. I got it as close as it's gonna get now. But when I got this fan, when it showed up, the front guard was haphazardly attached and zip tied on, and I found multiple issues with the blade where not only were the blades just out of clock, but there was actually variation in the pitch, variation in the blade shape itself, and the spider was a little bit off too. I've got the spider figured out. I've got the pitch pretty much figured out. The blades are in clock as close as I'm gonna get it, but I still think that there's just a slight variation in the actual curvature of the blades, like the actual shape of the blades, and there's really only so much I can do about that. I keep trying though. Every once in a while I'll just spin the blade around and hope my eye catches something that I wasn't seeing before. But anyway, so it might shake a little bit, but might not. We'll see. Here's the low speed. Not much of a startup sound on this one though. Yeah, this low speed is not mellow at all. Medium. High. Watch it shimmy a little bit. When it gets down to a certain RPM, it just kind of does this like shake back and forth for a second. It's not terribly out of balance. It's not good though. I mean, it's to the point where I can run it. I can actually utilize it, and it's not too bad, but if I run it for a long time, I know it's going to cause premature wear, so I try not to run it a lot when I do run it. I do enjoy using it though, definitely. So, I have to move some stuff around a little bit here. Apologize for that. And this is the oldest, the elder of my Patton fans. I know some of you guys probably have some from the 80s or the 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s. As you can see, this one's from 95. This is the 50-year anniversary Patton with the Tough Guard white. Unlike that foundation paint. That foundation paint's anyway. I got a lot of work to do down here. Anyway. So this fan was in really rough shape when I got it. The speed selector switch was completely destroyed. I had to replace that. I found the new one on Amazon and it works, fortunately. So the fan is fully functional. I think this motor is the same as the one on the 20-inch. This one also has a balance issue, blade balance issue. They did not put the model number on the switch here on this one, so it's probably one of the, yeah, here it is. Okay, so this one has the older style Patton Electric Company switch. The other two fans don't have this sticker. So this is model TG-1887, but the draw is 2.6 amps like the other motor. I think that this is basically the same model, same motor as on the 20-inch fan with a slightly smaller blade. And this is a Mean Machine. It's like if you take like a 396 or a 427 out of a Chevelle and drop it in a Nova, a slightly smaller car, that's kind of like what this is. It's like a big motor and a smaller car, and it's just ridiculously powerful 18-inch fan. Thankfully, there weren't many hours on this fan, I don't think. When I had it apart, the bearings and the motor shaft had very little wear. The motor is actually surprisingly clean. It just, I don't know what happened. There was all kinds of stuff wrapped around the motor shaft. There was like birthday party ribbon and hair and different kinds of string and all kinds of stuff. And like I said, the switch was broken. I had to replace that. And the guard here is a little mashed, and some of the tough guard is worn off a little bit, but it's a survivor. It made it. Made it through whatever people were putting it through. And it's in my hands now. So here's the low speed. I don't think this is going to have much of a startup sound either. speed on this one is also pretty unforgiving. Yeah, that's crazy. This fan scares me a little bit. These were really exceptional high velocity fans, like industrial style high velocity fans. Really classic, traditional American, about as good as you can get. I mean, I'm around industrial fans all the time. Floor fans, pedestal fans. I'm around a lot of really powerful industrial fans every day, pretty much. And I mean, it's hard to say that these were like the best industrial fans ever, but they're up there for sure. It would be hard to kind of set up a list of, what the most powerful fans were, like the ones that I was most impressed by, but these are right up there. I wouldn't necessarily want to say that these were number one, but then again, I can't really think of anything that outperforms these either. They're right up there, top tier, with just sheer power and air movement. And you have at least one of these that has a decent low speed where you can use it in like a casual kind of setting. But talking about the 14-inch fan, but the other two are just kick your ass. High velocity, industrial, heavy duty style. They're gonna make a bunch of noise. They're gonna move a bunch of air, as they were intended to do. Yeah, it's a shame that they don't make these anymore. Well, I guess they make something with a Patton name on it, but that's why I bought these, because they're special. They're special fans. They have a special place in the history of American manufacturing. In my experience with Patton, basically, I guess I should have started out by saying just my like real world experience with them. There was a 20-inch Patton fan at the first job that I worked at. I was a dishwasher in a very hot kitchen at a restaurant in town, and we had one of these. I think it's still there, actually. We had one of those 20-inch fans in the kitchen. I know there's one in there, I just don't know if it's the same one. It's just so worn out, beaten up. Whenever I go in there to pick up pizza, I can still see it in the kitchen back there on the floor. Sometimes it's running, it's always running in the summertime, but I don't know if that's the same fan or not. And then we had, I've been around some of the pedestal fans too. 24 or 30-inch pedestal fans at other jobs. So I've been around Patton fans before, and they definitely had their place amongst all the others, you know, the Daytons and the TPIs and Airmasters and whatnot. And those fans are still around today. These, not so much, unfortunately. But that's why I have them. I think the people who owned these before obviously weren't going to take as good a care of them as I am, so at least they went to me and not to the trash somewhere. Totally awesome fans. Not much else to say about it. Thanks for watching.